Getting back to the basics. I stepped into 2025 trying to set my intentions, figure out my goals, whatever word you want to call it. I realized I was kind of all over the place. I want to build my business. I want to show up each week on my podcast. I'm working on developing a nonprofit for wraparound support for single mother families. My husband and I have 6 children who live in different places around the country. We have 6 grandchildren, and we are committed to being with each of those grandchildren a minimum of 2 times a year, which all of that means 6 to 10 trips a year. Now, we love to travel to other parts of the world, which means a 3 to 6 week period of travel for us in addition to that. We have great friends in our own community that we love to host and spend time with. We are involved in our church community when we're at home. It's a full life, and I really don't know or haven't quite figured out how to balance it all. Now, your balancing act involves different plates that you're trying to keep going, different balls you're trying to keep up in the air. You're dealing with schedules of multiple people, your own business or career, managing all the moving parts of your home, dinner, cleaning, laundry, dishes, bills, just trying to keep things picked up around the house. It's a full-time job, believe me. I know. I raised 4 kids, and their stuff had a way of infiltrating the rest of the house. It was a never-ending battle. You have a husband, a spiritual life, and somewhere in there, you dream of your own social life, girlfriend time, some self-care. Now, I don't know about you, but I perpetually feel like I'm about to fall or fail in some area of my life or fail someone I deeply care about. So what do you do when it's all important, but there isn't enough time or enough of you to get it all done in the way you want? Something is continually falling through the cracks, and when you bend down to pick it up, something else will inevitably come crashing down around your feet. Well, years ago, I discovered a wonderful way to help me find peace in the midst of all the to-dos. It was during a time when life was literally crashing down around my feet. And I mean every area of life. The beautiful picture that I had painted of what life would be like 5 or 10 years down the road was suddenly ripped in shreds, and I couldn't piece it back together. I had no idea of what to do about anything. I seriously didn't feel like I had the capacity to make any decisions. And as I look back on that traumatic season of life, I honestly don't know who cooked, who cleaned, who took care of the kids, or how we functioned as a family. Oh, and get this. I was homeschooling 3 out of the 4 of my kids during this season. In the midst of that, decisions had to be made. Meals somehow got cooked. We somehow even took a vacation. We made it. And this one thing that I believe was divine wisdom from the Lord is what helped me maintain sanity when there were so many life issues that were screaming at me. Hang on to all those hats you wear, Mom. I'm going to share what that divine wisdom and revelation was and how I still lean into what I learned then so that I can live boldly, lead confidently, and love with intentionality. Hey there, I'm Misty Hughes, your dream champion. And in 2025, I want to help your dreams come true. That deep longing you have for balance, the dream that you have for that peace that passes understanding. You sang about it as a child, the joy, joy, joy down in your heart, those dreams and desires that you were made for, and the promise to you as a child of God. I had those dreams too. When I was raising 4 little ones, living through trauma, trials, and our own tribulations, I still carry the dream of resting in the rhythm of His grace. And Marvelous Mom, I'm here today to remind myself and to share with you that it is possible. I've been in those trenches where I've felt overwhelmed and disconnected. And I've discovered some tools and truths that have helped transform my life from glory to glory. And that's why I'm here. I'm here to walk alongside of you, sharing encouragement, practical tips, biblical wisdom, so that you too can live boldly, lead confidently, and love intentionally from a heart that overflows with peace and joy. I understand the longing of your heart and the turmoil and tiredness that you have, feeling like you might be failing, because I know how precious your time is. I've created a free online workshop, Align Your Life with What Matters Most. In this workshop, we will take a deep dive into the very things that today's podcast is just going to touch on. Align Your Life with What Matters Most is a free virtual workshop designed for busy Christian moms who feel overwhelmed, out of balance, and disconnected from their purpose. This prayerful and practical experience will help you discover your core values, define your alignment with those values, and develop steps so that you can live, lead, and love with passion and purpose, and celebrate the transformation. You'll walk away with a renewed sense of direction. You'll feel empowered to make decisions that honor God and align with your values. Therefore, they honor you. You will experience more peace, joy, and fulfillment in your daily life. If you're interested in this free masterclass, visit momtomommentoring.com/values to register and take the first step toward the life you were created for. Align your life with what matters most to you so that you can thrive in every area that God has called you to. Now, are you ready to take the first step into a values-based lifestyle? Well, grab your AirPods, put on your running or walking shoes, or slip on your slippers while you take on that to-do list. Get ready for some simple steps that you can consider as you learn to live, lead, and love with passion and purpose. Hey, let's chat for a minute about why values matter. Think of your values like a GPS for your life. If you don't set your destination, you'll end up taking every detour, side road, feeling lost, frustrated, and probably exhausted by the time you get to your destination, if you ever get there. Does that sound familiar? Well, when you're clear on your values, they keep you on track for where you want to go and help you get there. They help you say yes to the right things and no to distractions that don't serve your purpose. I unashamedly have discovered that I value relationship. When raising my kids through the tumultuous time that I shared about, the steadfast value of relationship was my guiding light. The knowledge of this value helped me stay true to being present for my family, for myself, and for God. When decisions had to be made about where to live, what to spend money on, activities for the kids, dating, work, etc., I filtered everything from this value. Doing so removed a lot of options for me. I decided not to pursue a career at the time of raising my kids. I chose not to date during those years. I opted to keep us in affordable housing so I wouldn't have to work extra to make ends meet. When it came to getting phones, license, insurance, this value caused me to invite my kids into providing. Again, being available and present in the home was more important to me. I chose to value my values instead of working extra hard so that my kids could have the things that their peers enjoyed. Now, was it hard? You bet. More than once, my kids shared with me how challenging it was that they had to work to pay the $20 extra for the phone line when all their friends' parents supported them. It felt unfair to them, but it did establish good work ethics in each one of my kids, who are all great contributors to their families, their employers, and their community. Choosing to live by your values is not easy. I'm not going to pull the wool over your eyes. Heck, just look at what it cost Jesus. He stayed true to his values. Hebrews 12 from the Message says, "Keep your eyes on Jesus, who both began and finished this race we're in." Study how he did it, because he never lost sight of where he was headed or what he valued. That exhilarating finish in and with God. He could put up with anything along the way, cross, shame, whatever, and now he's there in the place of honor, right alongside God. When you find yourself flagging in your faith, go over that story again, item by item. Mom, he did it for the joy set before him. He stayed true to what he valued for this joy set before him. He valued relationship with the Father. He valued relationship with you, and it cost him his very life. So, where do we begin as we pursue this values based lifestyle? Well, the first step is to simply discover your values. I have some questions here for you. You can come back to this when you have some time to reflect. I will put these questions in the show notes for you as well. And I invite you to take time to write down your answers during this time of reflection. Here's the first one. What do I want my children to learn from me as I model to them? And why is this important to me? For me, it was faithfulness, communication, teamwork. I wanted them to learn steadfast loyalty. These were some of the things I wanted my children to have as part of their DNA when they left home. It was vital to me because it hadn't been a part of my upbringing or my marriage. Not living by these values led to so much conflict, and I wanted more for my children in their work and in their career and family adventures. Another question you can ask is who or what inspires me and why? What do I want people to say about me at the end of my life? As I reflect on the last 3 to 6 months, when have I felt most fulfilled and alive? If I had unlimited money, what would I do? If I only had 1 year to live, what would I do and who would I spend time with? These are just a sampling of questions that can help get you thinking about what it is that is important to you, what you value. Now, after you write down the answers to these questions, take note of some of the key words that you see over and over again. Circle those key words or key themes. These words will help you discover what your values are. See what word pops up over and over. Then define where you're in or out of alignment with this value. Assess your daily life. Are your actions reflecting this value, or are they being pushed aside by busyness and obligations or what other people think your value should be? Example, if faith is a value, but your schedule is too packed for quiet time with God, that's a sign of misalignment. Develop a strategy to align your life with your values. These small intentional shifts make a big impact. You don't have to change your whole schedule to incorporate some quiet time with God, but look for 5 or 10 minutes that you can actually schedule in to make that time. If family is your value, as it was for me, block out non-negotiable time to be present with your kids. For our family, when they got older, it was every Friday night at dinner. As years progressed and they had various activities and various friends, Friday night mealtime was a staple for us because family, relationship, and being present was a value in our home. If well-being is a value, make sure you schedule time for your rest and renewal. Your first step can simply be to put it on your calendar. I don't know about you, but I typically have to start a month out because my calendar's pretty full right now. And so I will schedule something for a month out and put it on my reoccurring calendar. So that time is blocked. And when I'm scheduling new meetings, I've already set aside that time. Nothing will interfere with it. A values-based life is not about perfection, Mom. It is about intentionality. When you align your life with what matters most, you'll experience more peace, clarity, and purpose. If you've been feeling overwhelmed, stretched too thin, or just off track, take a moment today and discover your values. Define where you're out of alignment and develop a simple strategy. Just this one step to get yourself on track with your values. You don't have to do this alone. I'd love to help you on this journey. Join me for my next Align Your Life with What Matters Most masterclass. In this masterclass, you're going to discover what matters most to you. You'll define how these values show up or don't in your everyday life. And you'll develop a one thing strategy that will help you live, lead, and love with intention. And Mom, we're going to celebrate your progress and radiate joy as you embrace your values in 2025 and beyond. You are the heart of your homes, and your influence is greater than you realize. I believe in your power to create spaces of peace, joy, and connection. Keep showing up, because every small step you take is changing the world. Until next time, remember, you were made to live boldly, lead with grace, and love abundantly.